Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It is from the Bleachers, broadcasting live here on the Fan Sports Network. It's Caden Formaster, Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
We welcome you into the show today here. 7-Eleven.
It is free
7-Eleven.
Slurpee Day.
We have one 7-Eleven in southern Utah.
Yeah, you'd have to buzz out to the
Go to State Street in Hurricane, right?
magnificent city of Hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connected
I'm
to
wearing Hurricane colors today.
Connected to the McDonald's, I believe.
Yes,
that
it is.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wearing my Utah Tech shirt today. Oh, that's on this side.
Yeah. That's a good Utah Tech shirt.
Yeah, but
It's a nice
Hurricane
one.
Tiger colors as well. But yeah, only
Yeah.
one. You know, it was so funny thinking back to when I grew up in this town, and we probably had, God, I don't know, 4 or 5 7-Elevens, around
Had a
town.
bunch.
Had a few on the boulevard. I mean, it turned into a Maverick, the one on 700 East and Boulevard.
Yeah.
Used to be, now it's Morty's.
Morty's. Well, it used to be a Maverick.
Used to be a Maverick. Before that, it was a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
There was a 7-Eleven on the west side of Boulevard. South Bluff, there was a 7-Eleven. There was a few 7-Elevens around town, and then they just turned into Mavericks. And now Maverick has taken over the state of Utah.
I was actually talking to somebody about that, about the Maverick monopoly, right? Because we were talking about Buc-ee's. I'm sure you've heard of Buc-ee's in Texas.
Is it like a convenience store like Maverick?
It is a convenience store, but the convenience store is basically like the size of like a Smith's.
Oh, wow.
Like it's like a full-blown store. Like they're big. I mean, not all of them, but there are some that are just massive.
I've never heard of them.
Anyway, yeah, I'm surprised you've never heard of Buc-ee's. I'll have to pull one up and show you or something during a break. But anyways, so we were talking about if Buc-ee's would ever extend over to Utah. And in my thought, I'm saying no way, just because there's already a Maverick anytime you travel 5 feet down a road.
Yep.
So
I was going to say 5 blocks, but 5 feet
yeah,
works.
it feels like it. No, seriously. I mean, there's a Maverick on just about every single major corner of any major intersection. There's a Maverick right
and
there.
these new Mavericks that they're building
They're nice.
are absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean they're nice.
They are.
I like Maverick.
And they've been remodeling some of the older ones as well, kind of getting them up to date.
Well, they put that new one out by Green Springs too.
I love
that
Maverick.
one's massive.
I love Maverick. I've been,
Yeah.
I go there and then I walk out with a handful of rock stars, because you can't buy just one, because when you go to the
It's usually like
the fridge, it's buy 2 get 1 free. That's what they have going on right now with Rockstar.
Yeah,
Buy 2 get
yeah.
1 free, and then if you have your Maverick card,
your Adventure Club card.
your Adventure Club card, then the 10th one is free.
Today's show not sponsored by Maverick.
It's really not.
I'm serious. It's really not. We're just fans. All right. We're just fans. Again, welcome into the show. For those listening on radio, thank you. And as a reminder, you can watch the show on YouTube. So if you're driving around somewhere, you're listening in the car, you're enjoying the conversation doesn't have to end when you get to your destination. Pull us up on YouTube and you can watch the show live. We are over there right now broadcasting. So, and today we actually have some visuals. So being on YouTube is actually going to be kind of nice, because we're going to try to explain what we talk about, but of course, being able to see it also helps.
And then we'll be able to, you can access it via our social media page as well later on tonight if you want to vote and put your two cents worth in as well. But yeah, should we just tell them what it is?
Yeah.
It's our all-time All-Star teams.
Yeah.
You have one. I have one. There was a couple of multiple players that we both
we both
had,
picked some of the same people.
But different enough teams that we're going to ask you, the listener, the viewer, however you're accessing us, who wins? What team wins? Caden's team or the winning team, my team?
I wouldn't say it's the winning team.
We got to
let the listeners and the viewers decide, right? That's how we do it. That's how we do it. So, Yeah, we'll see what they have to say about it. So, no, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good show today.
Did a great job on those graphics. They look really good.
I try my best. I try my best.
Love it.
Anyway, so we got that going on today. That's gonna be fun, and we'll throw something up on our social media about voting for which team we think wins, mine or yours, the winner team or Mark's team.
Oh, I already used that. You can't use that.
Of course I can. It's just getting even.
Can't.
It is getting even. Okay. Well, before we get into that, I want to start with something. We talked about this before we started the show, Mark, about tomorrow being the only day of the entire year.
Only day?
Where there's no sports. Because baseball's still off.
Now,
it's off-season basketball. It's off-season football.
I'm wondering if...
Whole lot of nothing.
I'm wondering if that extends now to 2 days, because usually after the All-Star game, they would get a day off. They'd get that Wednesday off, and they'd be back playing on Thursday.
Sure.
But now I think MLB has extended that. Now that I put a little more thought into it, I think they've extended that to Wednesday and Thursday off. I don't think there's any series that start on Thursday, and then they would begin on Friday. And I think that's the case. But as we were talking earlier, it used to be, and now let's just extend it the next day as well. Tomorrow for sure, and Thursday we believe are really the only days in the calendar year, like you had said, Caden.
Yep.
That doesn't have football, basketball, baseball, hockey, NCAA football. Only day.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
It doesn't matter if it's Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, other holidays, other, times of the season. There's always one of those sports going on, but not tomorrow or the next day. Only time. That's why ESPN has their ESPYs on Wednesday because of that
it's a filler.
Purpose as
it's
well.
A filler.
Yeah.
And then we're able to talk about it on Thursday, at least, it's slow. It's slow news week when it comes to sports this week. There's not a lot happening.
And that's why when you listen to a lot of even the national stuff, it's like, best football movies and, Mount Rushmore of NBA centers and all that kind of stuff. Because, again, they and we just need something to talk about.
Gotta have content. We gotta have content. Well, one of the things that a lot of people are talking about with it being kind of a slow news week is the fact that Andrew Luck is now coming up next year, will be eligible for the Hall of Fame. And the question is, did he have a Hall of Fame career? Now, I know your thoughts on the Hall of Fame, Mark. You've said it a million times. Remind people, it's plain and simple, what your thoughts are on the Hall of Fame.
It's really simple. If you have to make an argument for them, they are not deserving of the Hall of Fame. If you have to make an argument for them, they are not deserving.
So with that said, does Andrew Luck deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
You would have to make an argument. So what is the answer?
The answer is maybe.
For me, the answer is no. For me, the answer is no. He played from 2012. Is that right?
Yeah, sounds about right.
2012. He missed 2017 due to injury, and then he played 2018. So he played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He played 6 seasons, 7 seasons, 7 years total, 6 seasons. 1 he was injured. Hell no. Not even close. He would have been. He was on pace to becoming a Hall of Famer, but certainly did not meet the requirements in my mind as far as length goes, career length to be even talked about. To be even talked about. I mean, we're talking he played 6 seasons over 7 years. 6. Yeah. No way. Now, if you tack on 6 more seasons, you get into that double digits, 10, 11, 12, then we have a case for sure. You don't even have to make an argument for him.
Now, when you're looking at the stats, because you're right about this, you look at his stats, he had everything going for him. He was at a 60.8 completion percentage in his career. Not too bad. He had 2,000 on the dot, 2,000 complete passes, which is, again, through that many. That doesn't sound like a lot for a career. Through the amount of seasons that he had, really not that bad. Not that bad at all. So 171 touchdowns. In 1 year, he threw 40 touchdowns, which is insane. That's pretty good. Anytime you're getting high 30s is fantastic.
Yeah.
He broke the 40 mark. That's a lot. His last season, he threw 39. He was 39 and 15. 39 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. When you look at some of those numbers, it's like, this sounds like a Hall of Fame quarterback, right? But there's always the big but. Longevity matters.
So he played in 86 games, okay?
Okay.
Another a guy that is in the Hall of Fame that you can kind of compare a little bit to. I mean, this guy didn't come out as the number one draft pick and all that kind of stuff, but a little bit shorter of a career, probably about as short of a career and making the Hall of Fame as you can get, is Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
Kurt Warner played in 124 games. So,
and how many did you say that Andrew Luck played in?
I have it right here. 86 games.
Okay.
And Kurt Warner played in 124 games. That was over 11 seasons. And I believe that the 10-year, you got to get double digits to, and again, this is not in the Hall of Fame handbook that you have to get to double digits of seasons to qualify for the Hall of Fame. This is just in the Mark the Voice qualifications. I really believe you have to get 10 seasons.
Yeah.
And Kurt Warner just barely makes that cutoff. You know, Kurt Warner was a 2-time MVP, 2-time All-Pro, 4-time Pro Bowler. Those aren't big numbers for a Hall of Famer. Like if I was to pull up Peyton Manning, if I was to pull up, obviously if you pull up Tom Brady, he's not there yet, but he will be. If I pull up Dan Marino, Terry Bradshaw, some of these other Hall of Fame quarterbacks, Troy Aikman, they're going to have, much higher numbers as far as Pro Bowls, MVPs, and things like that than Kurt Warner did. Kurt Warner just barely. Yeah, he just barely makes that list.
But it also helped that he won a Super Bowl. He won an MVP.
Certainly doesn't hurt.
He was Rookie of the Year. I mean, he did win accolades.
Yes.
He made it to the Super Bowl with the Cardinals. I mean, so he has the accolades to back it up. Now, if you are looking at the amount of games played, I will say that if Andrew Luck were to get in, he would not be the guy with the least amount of games played. That goes to Ernie Nevers.
Never's heard of him.
He played in the 20s.
That's why I never heard of him.
54 games. He only played for 5 seasons in the NFL.
Was he, does it say there if he was voted in? Well, they probably had different ways of, I'm sure it wasn't fan votes back in the 1930s.
Yeah, I don't know how he got voted in or when he got voted in.
Yeah.
Do you know who Gale Sayers is?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
How many games do you think he played?
Oh, God, he didn't play many.
He played less than Andrew Luck.
More than Nevers?
More than Nevers, because Nevers was the least, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm talking about someone who is in the Hall of Fame that played less games than Andrew Luck. I'm asking you to guess. You can't Google it.
Well, I'm just pulling up his stats. Okay. He played I'm going to say he played 68 games.
You looked, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
It is 68. It is 68. Hey, okay.
I didn't get there yet.
I trust you. I trust you. Yes, he played 68 games for the Chicago Bears.
Wow.
So Andrew Luck has played more games. But I think it's also very different for a quarterback. Quarterbacks have long careers. They can, at least, especially the modern quarterback, which he obviously is. He started in, if he was to retire now, then it's it's something that we would maybe be saying, okay, maybe, because he would have played for 10 seasons, 11 seasons, right? But he just didn't.
And Gale Sayers did play over 7 seasons. He played 7 seasons. That's
just less games.
Less games, yeah, because there was only...
Same amount of seasons, technically. Yeah. It's just Andrew Luck was out for an entire season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I will say, though there is an argument to be made, I don't see a way that he's finding his way to Canton.
Yeah, and also, too, I think just impact also comes into play with Gale Sayers. Just impact with football, where Andrew Luck, I don't know. It's again, it's tough. And I'm not going to go against my rule. If you have to make an argument for him, then he shouldn't be in. I'm just going to stick by that. But sure. I don't know if you say the name Gale Sayers, I definitely think Hall of Fame. I mean, because he is in the Hall of Fame.
He is.
But I would have thought that even before he got probably voted in, probably not a long time before I was born. He played through 71, probably inducted into the Hall of Fame. I don't know. Probably, 76 or so.
Yeah, probably.
Probably around there.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, as much as I'd love to make the argument for him, I really can't. I mean, you do have to have longevity in this career to be able to be in the Hall of Fame, especially now. As a modern player, I think that that's true. The impact you'd have to be able to play 6 seasons. Is that what it was? 6 seasons?
Yeah.
He played?
Yeah, 6 seasons over 7 years.
He needs to go and win like 2 Super Bowls in those 6 seasons if he wants any shot. Like, for example, if Patrick Mahomes were to retire right now, it's a different conversation. Right? They've played very similar amount of seasons.
Yeah.
If Patrick Mahomes retires right now, is he a Hall of Famer? It's easier to say yes to him than it is to Andrew Luck, but that's just because he's been to and won multiple Super Bowls. And MVP. And you know what I mean? He's all over the place.
Boy, that's a good question on Patrick Mahomes, though.
I think that's how you put it into perspective, right? Is you think, okay, if Patrick Mahomes were to retire right now.
So he's played 80 games.
Very similar. Over the course of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
I say
seasons,
no. I say no.
Even though it's 5 seasons where he's been active, right? 5 active seasons. Is Patrick Mahomes a Hall of Famer?
No. I say he's on the direct path of being a Hall of Famer, but I say as of right now, before we get into the 2023 season, before we get into the 24 season, before we get into the 25 season, I say no. I just don't think it's long enough. I don't think that it's there. I don't think the years and the games played is there. I do believe he is a Hall of Famer if he continues to play at this level
on the trajectory.
And that, yes.
If that's the case, then for you, it's a hard no for Andrew Luck.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because
I was a hard no.
Because I would say if Patrick Mahomes were to retire right now, there's way more of a conversation to be had for Mahomes than Andrew Luck. And that's with 1 less season under his belt. But he's also won 2 Super Bowls, been to more than that. He's been the MVP twice. He was Offensive Player of the Year. He's been to a million Pro Bowls. He's been to a Pro Bowl every time he's at least been the starter.
So what was my reaction when you asked me about Patrick Mahomes? I paused.
You thought about it.
I paused and I thought about it.
But again, if you think about it.
Exactly.
Your idea is if you think about it, then it shouldn't be.
Ask me if somebody else should be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, let's go with, I'm trying to think of someone who's currently in the league that has a little bit, Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
There's no thought. But that's what I'm saying. There's no thought about it. When I have to think about it and then kind of go through my head, you know what? Probably not deserving. Again,
sure.
This is, I always like to make this statement. This is the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of All-Stars, not the Hall of Pretty Goods. It's the Hall of Fame, and it should be Very, very exclusive. Very exclusive.
Yeah.
That's how I think of the Hall of Fame. Just because somebody doesn't make it like an Andrew Luck doesn't think, oh my gosh, because I would have loved to have had Andrew Luck on my fantasy football teams. I mean, when he was playing, he was awesome. Doesn't mean I don't think that he was a great player, but there's just certain boxes in my head that need to be checked for a Hall of Fame, and he doesn't check, and neither does Patrick Mahomes, doesn't check that longevity box for me.
Sure.
And I'll tell you what, even with Kurt Warner, it's a light pencil. I mean, he just barely fills that, checks that box.
Yeah.
So but again, that's how I think of Hall of Fames. Not everybody, not all the All-Stars need to be a Hall of Famer.
No.
The Hall of Famers are the All-Stars of the All-Stars.
Yeah. It's
and
your
it's an
obvious,
exclusive
it's your
club.
obvious guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like this Joe Montana? Yes. Jerry Rice? Yes.
So of
Randy Moss? Yes.
Of current players, if you're to kind of go through your mind and you think of current players, who are some that you can think of? I named Aaron Rodgers.
Justin Jefferson's on his way.
He's on his way. But if he were to retire tomorrow, he's only played a couple seasons or whatever, right? So it's not there for him. I would say right now you have like Aaron Donald is probably right around there. Von Miller.
He will be. No question.
Von Miller,
yes.
is going to be there.
Yep.
Max Crosby.
On his way. Not there yet.
Potential.
Not there yet.
Yeah. Okay. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I'm trying to think defensive because sometimes those are the guys that we overlook because we think of the guys that have the football in their hands.
Oh, for sure.
So anyway, those are just some of the few that I can think of. Jason Kelsey has had a great career so far. I think he's probably.
I do too.
There and Travis. I think if Travis were to retire, just because tight ends have shorter careers. Travis Kelsey's there.
And the same thing with running backs too. They do have shorter careers too.
Like you look at someone like Derrick Henry. He hasn't been there that long. I would say on his way.
Yeah.
But he is someone that it only need a couple more really good years before people are like
running backs, because they have that lifespan of 5 to 8 years is actually really good.
Yeah, if you make it to 30, you're an old running back.
Yeah, exactly. So, no question about it. Running back's probably a little bit different criteria set there, but quarterbacks, wide receivers, defensive players certainly have a different criteria in my mind. So that's kind of where I go. But again, I've just always thought that the Hall of Fame is exclusive. It's the All-Stars of the All-Stars, and not everybody gets in. And that's why I have such a hard time with NBA Hall of Fame center for the Pistons, that I just can't believe that
Ben Wallace.
I think of Ben Wallace, and I think great defensive player. That's it. I don't think offensive weapon.
You don't think about the championship.
I don't think. No. I don't think he wasn't the leading force in that, the scoring machine, and he was a great defensive player.
Chauncey Billups?
I don't know, maybe.
It was a good all-around team.
Wallace? I don't know.
Was
Rasheed even on that team?
Rasheed was there.
Was he on that team?
Yeah.
I just don't think of him as a Hall of Famer. I think of him as a great defensive player. And there's others too. I mean, Ben Wallace just kind of pops into my head thinking of the NBA. But again, but when you say Kareem, you automatically think Hall of Fame. When you say Shaq, Hall of Fame. Hakeem Olajuwon, Hall of Fame. Ben Wallace, he's a really good defensive player. I just don't get it, man.
Yeah. All right.
You have to make an argument for Ben Wallace. And again, my line is, you have to make an argument for him. He doesn't belong in.
Steve Nash?
Yes.
You thought about it,
I did think about it.
You thought about it, though.
But he does have multiple MVPs.
Yeah.
Now, granted, he did steal at least one of them from Kobe.
That's why I had to say it, because I know you don't love that. But
he does. No, but he has the longevity. He has championships. He has stats.
He has everything.
He was one of the best point guards during his tenure in the NBA.
Yeah.
He was one of the top 3 point guards, I would have to say.
For a full decade.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Steve Nash.
I mean, that's when you look at current players, like you look at Chris Paul, for example. He doesn't have the championships. He doesn't have the MVPs, but he's always one of the top point guards in the league for now decades almost. We're pushing it.
It's funny that you bring up Steve Nash. he was going to make it later in the show due to the fact that it was on this day, back in 2012, Steve Nash is traded by the Phoenix Suns to who?
The Los Angeles
Angeles Lakers on this day back in 2012.
The oldest team, the most geriatric team I've ever seen in my life.
Kobe.
That was an old team.
It was.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. We got more coming up next here on From the Bleachers. Stick around. Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show, From the Bleachers, live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Coins for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Welcome back in, everybody. It's From the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network. Caden Formaster, Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know. We are fully awake here at the Fan Sports Network, and the reason why I say that is, Caden, do you know when the average person is finally fully awake in the day? What time? Fully awake. The average person, I'm saying the average person probably wakes up between 6 and 7.
I'm going to say 10.
You're very close. 9:40 in the morning.
Well, 20 minutes off. That's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.
That is not bad.
And being
Do you feel like that's correct for you? Like you feel like you are the most alert? Like from that point on, you're like, yeah, I'm now ready.
No, I think it's earlier for me, but
you wake up at like
we're early.
3 a.m.
Yeah, we're early birds over at the Musgrave house. So
yeah, you wake up early.
Summertime, we sleep in till 6.
Oh, I'm sleeping in till 6. Wow, look at me. I'm Mark.
It's true.
Dude, waking up early for me is anything before 7.
Oh my gosh, dude. I can't. Well, I guess I can do that. It's a rarity, but we do occasionally.
I wake up before my alarm most days, though.
Mm-hmm.
Most days I do.
And your alarm's set for 7?
My alarm's set for 7. I wake up most days around probably like just naturally waking up around like 6:45. It's also because I have cats, and when the sun is up, they are up, and that means that they are like, hey, it's morning. This is when you give us food.
Yeah.
So they'll just come and they'll stand above my head on my pillow.
Oh, yeah.
And meow.
Oh, boy.
It's really annoying.
That would be.
But
I've lived the life of having cats.
You know what it's like.
So we definitely know what it's like.
But they have food. That's what's stupid. Is I go and I'm like, you have food, you idiots. Now be quiet. I can sleep.
They like to converse with people.
Yeah, they'll be like, good morning. The sun is up. That's usually what time you guys are awake.
Time to go.
Winter's not bad because, the sun doesn't come up till later, so they're not as loud. But summertime, man.
I get it.
Yeah, that's annoying. Anyways, All-Star break going on right now for the MLB. Last night we had the Home Run Derby, which was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
That was awesome.
The first round was my favorite, by the way, because you had Adley Rutschman, who goes switch hitter for the round.
I thought that was so
awesome.
Impressive that he puts up, I can't remember,
20-something? 28? 28.
Then,
he had 28 because he was at 20 when he went to the bonus round.
Okay, so he swapped for 30 seconds, and he hit, 7 of 8 or 8 of...
He was 8 of 9.
8 of 9.
They were saying
right-handed.
7 of 8, but they counted one more right at the tail end of it. I mean, 8 of 9.
That, to me, was probably the second most impressive thing that happened last night. The most impressive thing was first round of Julio. 41. We were hoping to get to 42 just because that's a iconic number in baseball. But 41.
He was effortless.
I'll tell you what.
Effortless.
But I was telling you, I kind of figured if he would have been the 3rd seed and what's his name would have been the 6th seed. Alonso.
Yeah.
Pete Alonso. I think it would have been different results through the rest of the night. I mean, it would have been tough to beat Vlad Guerrero Jr., but I just think that Julio just gassed himself hitting 41. And I'll tell you a critical part of that, and he wasn't, if you go back and watch the tape, it wasn't as good as the first round. Pena, his pitcher,
was great in the first round.
Putting him in the same spot just about every single time.
I would say he's about maybe 2 ball lengths from being on that inside edge.
Yeah.
He was in the middle of the zone, just over to the right a little bit, and he was just carrying him out. It was beautiful. That first round was just precision.
And if you watch Pena in the second round, he wasn't nearly as precise with that pitch.
Yeah, because he's doing this kind of a short pitch. I don't know what you want to call it.
They were saying that
it was just kind of a quick pitch.
He wasn't stepping or anything. He was just short arming it every single time. Same release point.
And it worked. The first round was awesome.
Oh my gosh. He just started just jacking them out.
Yeah.
One after another, after another, after another. It was impressive, man.
It was so cool.
It was way cool.
But then obviously by the end you had Vlad take it all the way, which it was funny because at the beginning of the round, and it was when I want to say, was it the first round of guys that was up that the announcers were talking about? Something like the Home Run Derby really fits those guys who are shorter and bigger. Vlad is that kind of guy. He's just shorter, bigger, so that way he can just use his natural weight that he has on his body in those later rounds. Those guys that might be a little more slender, like a Julio Rodriguez, they're the ones that have to physically power them out of there. Vlad just gets up there and just swings it back.
Yeah, he does.
And I'm like, that's a good point. That's a good point. I got thinking about that. And then as the rounds go on, it's usually your guys that are a little bit bigger, your first baseman style guys. That's why Pete Alonso's won a couple now. I think he's won a couple home run derbies, but Vlad is of a very similar, I wouldn't say nearly as built as Pete Alonso, but similar still body frame. So yeah. So those are your kind of guys that are going to do really well at it. And he did awesome.
Yeah. It was a fun home run derby to watch for sure. I thought Arozarena was going to get him towards the end. If he would have had, I just wish he would have gotten the bonus, the extra 30 seconds like Vlad Guerrero did. If that's the case, obviously we're probably having a different conversation today as far as who the winner is. But, man, he had his chance. He had his chances. Arozarena did.
Yeah, but that's part of the game. You got to get those. You got to get the bonus.
You hit those moon shots of 440 feet, then you get that additional 30 seconds. And Vlad did that.
Yeah, he did.
He's a monster.
He is a monster.
You know,
I'm happy for him too.
I was looking at his dad's stats because now they are the only father-son duo to ever win the home run derby.
Yep, his dad won it when it was in San Francisco.
I don't know what the hell was wrong with Ken Griffey Sr.
I know, Ken Griffey. But I love that it's a junior and a senior, by the way, because there are father-son duos that have played, obviously, in the league, but this one is one where it is a senior and a junior with the same name. I kind of like that.
Yeah, me too.
Cool.
Me too. Now, Vlad Guerrero Sr., he played 16 seasons, 8 in the NL with the Montreal Expos, and 8 in the AL, 6 with the LA Angels, 1 with Texas, 1 with Baltimore. His career batting average over 16 years was .318.
That's really good.
318. I didn't realize Vlad Guerrero was that good of an average, that good with his batting average. I mean, I knew he could hit home runs.
Sure.
If you'd have asked me earlier today before looking this up, I would have said, "Oh yeah, he probably retired with a 270 average, 400 and plus home runs and that kind of thing." That's what I would have told you.
Sure.
But dude, he retired with a .318 batting average and 449 home runs. And I just kind of put that to what Vlad Guerrero Jr. is doing to see if he's on his way to a Hall of Fame career. And I think he's on the right path. He doesn't have the batting average that his old man has. He's batting .282. Not horrible. Not horrible. 280 and above, I think, is very, very, very respectable. 300 is kind of a magic number for me, but 282, he has 117 home runs already in his young career, 5 years, and that's counting this year as well. But he led 2021 with 48 home runs. That's the most that he's ever had. I will tell you, his old man, the most he ever had, and he never led the league in home runs. That 48 home runs for Vlad Guerrero Jr. led the league. The most his old man ever had, 44. That's not bad.
Wow.
But he didn't lead the league ever. But I got to say, I didn't know that he batted 313 or 318.
I didn't know that either.
318.
I didn't know that either.
I would have thought totally 270 average, 400 plus home runs, that kind of thing. But yeah, no, 318. So yeah, Vlad Guerrero Jr., let's get that average up just a little bit. Your old man's taking you to school there. But other than that, he's kind of on a similar path.
Yeah, it's true.
They even both played in Canada.
That they did. Montreal and in Toronto.
Yeah.
Which aren't all that far away from each other.
So hopefully Vlad Guerrero Jr. will spend, 2 or 3 more years in Toronto and then go to another Los Angeles city, follow his old man, but don't go to the Angels. Go to the Dodgers.
He's going to go to the Angels.
Actually, there's rumors really tying another Angel
Shohei
to be in a Dodger.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of those rumors.
Man,
I don't like it one bit.
Now we were talking.
I don't think he's staying an Angel his whole career.
Oh no, he's gone. Really the question is
he basically going to be a Dodger or a Yankee? That's what it comes down to.
And
for any really good player, that's the question: is will they be a Dodger or a Yankee?
The other question is not when he goes, or not if he goes, but it's when. Does it happen at the trade deadline, or does it happen in the offseason?
Well,
it would behoove
if the Angels want to get anything back, they trade him.
They trade him. And I think with Mike Trout going out, what is their last 10? They're 1-9 or something. I mean, they've
dipping. Had such a good season, and then they have gone downhill right before the All-Star break.
Now Mike Trout's injured. Who knows how long he's going to be out?
Yeah, I saw anywhere from about 6 weeks or so.
It would be
I
very
don't know.
difficult to do. But if you are the Angels, looking at the whole scheme of things and the big picture, you have to trade him. You have to get something back from him for him, because if he leaves this offseason, which he's going to,
Yeah.
when he leaves, if you let him get to free agency, you get absolutely nothing back. Nothing. It's just a guy that just packed up his suitcase, his locker, and he was out of there.
Yeah. And for a guy like him, you want to get something.
You've got to get prospects. You got to get it, even
At
a couple
least
more All-Stars.
At least prospects. I would want an All-Star.
You'd want an All-Star plus top prospects in that farm system. The Dodgers do have the
Dodgers have
top
great prospects.
rated prospects right now, so that would fit. Yankees don't have quite the prospects that
Bring in Drew.
Yeah, dude, that's I would love that.
He's
Get him on the West Coast.
He's their top
Yeah,
pitching
he is.
prospect.
He
I'm
is.
just saying, get him a little closer to home.
But that would be the Angels need to do something. Management needs to, grow a set
And just do it.
of hands
They
and just get the
gotta do it.
pen and just sign him over to somebody, get a trade done.
They have to. They have to do
It will-
something.
it
I
will-
I will be more angry if they just let him walk in
And
free
that's
agency.
what's going to happen.
Then but the thing is, if they make a trade, the casual fans are going to be sitting around and be like, "How could you trade him? He might have come back." And
Let
it's
them.
like, you just don't know, and I can't trust that he'll come back.
But to me, too,
can't.
as the Angels, do the Angels really do they have that win? I'm talking about the management, not the team.
Oh, sure.
Does the
Management's
management
horrible, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does the management have that winning mentality? Like
No.
we have to set our team up for the
No.
next 10 years?
The management doesn't care. They're
So-
looking for a way to save money, and by having one of the top players on our team means that you have to pay him, and by
Yeah.
paying him means that you have less money in your own personal
and
pockets.
And at least for the next, 40 games to end the season, or 60 games, whatever it is, they want Shohei probably on the roster because that brings fans to the stadium. That's how Angels management, I think, looks at it. So I don't think they trade him, although that would be a great move for the Angels.
But the management wants to look like they're the good guys, and so if they look like the good guys to the fans, they'll be saying. And here's the thing, because you'll have fans that are split, because there's a fan like me that does not agree with this. You'll see these owners hold on to Shohei. He'll leave in free agency, and then they'll be like, well, we tried to keep him around. We know you guys like him, and we tried really hard. Then you have fans like me who are like, look, I know he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
The writing's on the wall.
Yeah,
We get it.
It is.
I would rather you trade him and bring in some really good players and prospects, and then I'm happy with you. Because now if you just let him walk into free agency, I'm not happy with you.
Do you think if Bill Belichick was running the Angels, do you think Shohei would be wearing an Angels uniform the day after the trade deadline? I say no.
I would say no, but also if they're creating a winning franchise.
If Belichick saw the
then he
writing
would,
on the
yes,
wall,
but they're not.
if he saw the writing on the wall, he's going to trade and do organizational things for years to come.
I will say it would be different if the Angels were first place in their division, which they're not.
Oh,
They're,
for sure.
They're third.
Oh, no question. You got to look at all that.
They're currently, second or third.
And they're sinking.
And they're going down. They've been flip-flopping back and forth between second and third. If they were first in the division, then if they keep them around, it's like, okay, you guys want to go for a run in the playoffs. Keep them around. Okay, it's a different story. They're not, though. They're borderline a playoff team right now for the wild card race, but that American League East is just so good that I don't know if they're going to even be able to make a wild card. So
let me update you. They are fourth in their division right now.
Because they've been dropping.
Yes, they've been dropping. They've lost their last
And
5.
they've switched places with the Mariners now.
And their last 10, they are 1-9. They are sinking faster than a 10-pound rock.
Yeah, because they flip-flopped with the Mariners now. And so Mariners are in third, Astros second, Rangers obviously still in first. So, yeah, in my opinion, trade them. Just cut your losses. You trade him, try to get something back. And if you trade him with the Dodgers, who do you get in return for that? What kind of an all-star can you grab from the Dodgers roster that you need? Because, who is it going to be? I don't know. They could go with someone like a Will Smith.
That would be the
would be
next.
my guess.
Yeah, because the two guys that would be off limits would be Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts.
Yeah. Will Smith would be good because
Will Smith would be probably something that they would have to think about.
That would be one as far as hitting goes, because you need someone who can get out there and hit, and then probably some pitching prospects.
Yes, pitching. Yeah, and then the others being prospects. Yes.
So, all right, we got to get to a break. When we come back, let's wrap it up with more baseball, or our all-time All-Star list. That's next year on From the Bleachers. Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show, From the Bleachers, live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Corns for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Welcome back in, everybody. It's From the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network. It's Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know. Now, Caden, do you know what today is and tomorrow? No, not Tuesday and Wednesday. But do you know what day
Besides it being 7-Eleven Day?
Well, 7-Eleven isn't tomorrow.
No, that's not tomorrow.
But
You're
it's
right.
today and tomorrow. It's Amazon Prime Day.
Oh, yes, it is Prime Day, yeah.
And it's today and tomorrow. They've
did know
extended
that.
it to 2 days. Now, what do you think the top 4 things that everybody that are the top 4 things highest that people are buying? Like, what's the most?
TVs?
Okay, that's number 2. Electronics,
Okay.
52%.
Electronics. Geez, I was just thinking they were all going to be electronics kind of things. Stuff like vacuums. I don't know.
Okay,
Home.
You're so close. I mean, this
What are we
it
looking
says. It says, but they give an example, and it's not like a vacuum.
Okay.
Household essentials.
Household is okay. So like
toilet paper.
Oh, okay. So we're thinking toilet paper, paper towels, that kind of stuff.
So I don't know if vacuums and things like that
I
fall
was
in there.
thinking
But
like a vacuum and
Yeah.
like an Instapot and
right.
a toaster or coffee maker or whatever. I was thinking that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. That would probably go into number 5, which is hobby, leisure, and travel products. Oh no, actually that knocked out non-perishable food and pantry products out of the top 5.
So what's top 1? What's our number 1?
Number 1 is clothes, shoes, and other apparel.
Okay, sure. That actually makes sense, yeah.
Number 2, electronics. You did say TVs.
Yep.
Number 3, household essentials like toilet paper. Number 4 is Amazon Basic products.
Oh, yeah. I love
don't know.
Amazon Basic products.
What is that stuff?
Literally anything. They sell batteries, for example. They sell just like whatever you can think of that sometimes you just need something of. Amazon Basics is just basically like their brand.
Is that its own category?
Stuff.
Like there's a category called Amazon Basics?
Yeah. And we're talking all sorts of things. Like they probably have like earbuds that are Amazon Basics.
Oh, okay.
Chairs. I don't know. There's so much just random stuff. We have some cases that we carry some microphones in that are Amazon Basic cases.
Okay.
All sorts of different things.
And then number 5, hobby, leisure, and travel products.
So we're talking like probably like paintbrushes and travel products is pretty easy.
Beach towels and stuff like that, I'm sure. Umbrellas.
Yeah. All sorts of stuff. Cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Anyways, don't forget about that. Amazon Prime Day today and tomorrow.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, so let's get back into our all-time All-Star team. I'm going to let people know, too. I'm going to put up a poll right now on our YouTube where people can vote for which team that they think is best. Okay. So with that poll going out, let's start with your team, Mark. I'm gonna pull up your team right now so people can take a look at it. Go over your team with us. Who do you have starting?
God,
Let's make our way through it.
There is nobody beating that team. Sandy Koufax, Johnny Bench, and then down to the first base we have Lou Gehrig. Second base Jackie Robinson. Third base Mike Schmidt. Playing the 6th position. Shortstop Ozzie Smith, the greatest defensive shortstop of all time. Then we have Ted Williams in left, Willie Mays in center, and Roberto Clemente in right. My reserves, I mean, hey, if you start getting to Sandy Koufax, I'm going to bring in Nolan Ryan. And then you got Carlton Fisk, Albert Pujols, Joe Morgan, George Brett, Honus Wagner, Ken Griffey Jr., Joe DiMaggio, Stan Musial, Shohei, and Goose Gossage.
Yeah. You got Mariano Rivera there to finish it off. I mean...
where did I forget? Oh, yeah, Mariano.
Yeah,
where's he at?
He's your relief pitcher.
Yeah, he is my relief, but where's his name?
Right here.
Oh, right there. And then Babe Ruth,
Babe
my
Ruth
DH.
is your DH.
Yes, thank you.
Yep. I mean, that's a pretty good list.
Oh, my God, dude.
I like that list.
I don't know of anybody that's beaten that team.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe
Let's look
mine
at yours.
will.
Let's look at yours.
All right, let me get mine pulled up here as well. So here we go. Here's my team. So starting things off, we have Cy Young on the mound. Pudge Rodriguez behind the dish.
Okay.
Lou Gehrig on first.
Okay.
Rogers Hornsby on second.
All right.
Cal Ripken Jr. on short. Mike Schmidt, we have that one the same, over on third. We have Ken Griffey Jr. in left. Willie Mays in center. Hank Aaron in right. Shohei batting DH.
Yeah.
Mariano Rivera as our starting relief pitcher. Not to mention, you also have Randy Johnson available for the mound. Mike Piazza is a backup.
And when Piazza comes in to catch, I'm going to run all over him because he can't throw it back to the pitcher.
Albert Pujols coming in as well. Jackie Robinson backing up second. George Brett backing up third. Honus Wagner as well with shortstop. Mickey Mantle, Ted Williams, Mike Trout.
Yeah, Mike Trout makes the good
hopefully
list.
a non-injured Mike Trout
Yeah.
out there. Babe Ruth as a backup
As your
DH.
backup,
Can you believe that? Babe Ruth is a backup. Billy Wagner as a backup pitcher as well. So that's my list. Which one is better? I guess we'll see.
Have you posted that?
I posted it. It's on YouTube right now. You guys can go and vote for which team you think is best.
And we'll throw that on Instagram as well, won't we?
We'll put it on Instagram stories as well. I know there's not a lot of time left to be able to vote, obviously, on YouTube, but if you're there, go ahead and take a vote for it. But we'll put it over on Instagram as well if you're listening on the radio and you can't get to YouTube in time. But I will say we got a couple of good teams there.
Yeah.
Couple of good teams.
It was fun putting it together.
Those would be really fun to have go head to head and see who really wins those matchups.
And I think next time we put together an all-time All-Star team, whether it's football, basketball, and next year baseball, we're going to do it kind of draft style to where we don't have the same team. We don't have any of the same players, and then we'll put this out. That's how we learn. We learn from these things.
We live and we
that's
learn.
what we're going to do.
I like it. Yeah, head on over and you can vote now on YouTube, or we're going to be putting it on Instagram later. So I think it'll be fun. We'll see who ends up winning. And like I said, maybe we just need to throw it into MLB The Show as well. So, all right, that's it. Our show today. We're out of here. Have a good one, everybody. And we'll be with you tomorrow as well. See ya.